So hi, my name is Vaughn Codina. Please call me Vaughn.
Vaughn!
I actually did a PeckaKucha on the topic Filipino masculinity for our gender studies class with Mambing. And Mambing has asked me to do it for the PeckaKucha nights here at Byblos, so I must have done something right. So in a way, this topic has been assigned to me, not that I'm complaining, but just to talk about my passion, because that's what PeckaKucha is all about. I am really passionate about acceptance and equality, about psychology, and I really enjoy research work.
You ready?
Okay.
Vaughn, and go.
So I'd like to start by asking, have you ever been asked if you're gay?
Yes.
Or have you ever asked anyone if you're gay? From experience, these conversations usually go like this. Vaughn, I have a question to ask, but you might get offended. Ayaw na lang, masupot nga ka. Promise you won't get offended? Promise you won't get angry? Are you gay? And this inquiry really interests me, and it annoys me a bit. Not because I'm asked if I'm gay, but because when I think about it, and I often overthink a lot of things, why do people think they're being offensive? Or why do people expect me to be offended because they describe me as gay? Is it because, maybe it's because it is quite offensive to think of someone as something that they're not. But I'm afraid that the main reason is that people, much like the word savage or stinky or stupid, people think that the word gay is offensive. And it's not, and it shouldn't be offensive. And maybe it's also because one is expected to feel insulted or to feel offended when one's masculinity is questioned or put in question. So, those are my thoughts. I might have gone a bit too fast. Okay, so you have 20 seconds to read this. About a day or two after Sir Ian contacted me about PeckaKucha, he posted and shared this article on Facebook. And if you read the article, if you read Sir Ian's post, and if you watch the movie, you can see that we always assume that we can tell if a person is gay, or we assume that we can tell that a person is straight based on these standards of masculinity that we have. So to talk more thoroughly about Filipino masculinity, from here on out I will be discussing this research article. It's entitled Filipino Masculinity and Psychological Distress, a preliminary comparison between gay and heterosexual men. And a very important construct discussed in this article is what we call gender role strain. And gender role strain refers to this negative psychological state that arises when a person, any person, fails to or deviates from these gender roles that society has put upon all of us. And gender role strain often manifests as psychological distress. Psychological distress involves depression, anxiety, social anxiety. So I want everyone to understand that because we want people to behave and act in certain ways, we are actually causing these people to be depressed, to be anxious, and this impedes their work environment. It impedes their sense of self, their romantic relationships. So the article also talked about what it means to be a Filipino man. So who is the Filipino man? And a Filipino man is said to be someone who has a great sense of responsibility and a great sense of community. That means that a Filipino man should take the initiative in helping and assisting other people. Now, a Filipino man is also said to have integrity. A Filipino man should be able to uphold his honor. And in terms of intellectual pursuits, Filipino men, or men, when compared to women, are idealized as the more logical thinkers. And Filipino men are also expected to be not only physically but also emotionally strong. Kaming mga laki, di may padaan ang emosyon ba? And perhaps the more important parts or characteristics of being a Filipino man is their family-orientedness or their respective deference to women. So as men, we are expected to take the role of constructive patriarchs in the family, but we're also expected to respect the wives in making decisions for the family. So how is the Filipino gay man different from the Filipino straight man? What exactly is different in the things that I said, in integrity, in strength, and all those other things? So according to the research, Filipino gay men are concerned about their strength. In fact, according to the research, it says that some Filipino gay men who are unable to look physically and emotionally strong, masculine, and macho are more vulnerable to developing social anxiety. So they don't go out as often, they're shy, because they use this as a defense against their anxiety in being in social places. In fact, it says that the gay Filipino man is burdened not only by his self-presentation, because just because I'm gay, just because we're gay, does not mean that we should act feminine, right? We can also be macho, even though they're homosexual. But also, and more tragically, they are burdened by their sexual orientation. So, what good is a research paper without any implications for the betterment of society? So, in recent years, we have seen the emergence of communities that are influenced by global gay politics. So, we can also apply what we learn. We should apply what we learn to help other people, to improve society. And there should be an effort made to redefine and reconsider what it means to be a Filipino man and what it means to be a Filipino gay man. And this especially involves public policies, so we should make public policies that support lesbian and gay couples. So a more tragic point of view, or a major concern as stated by the article, is that Filipino gay men are detached and they are disidentified from the concept of a family. Most gay men here in the Philippines don't even think about starting their own families because they can't marry. It's not in our culture much that they start a family. But Filipino gay groups, lesbian and gay advocacies, and all of you here today who understand and who agree with what I'm saying should advocate the truth that lesbian and gay couples can have successful relationships and that they can benefit a lot from the rights of marriage. And we should also advocate, or we should emphasize the wealth of literature that we have from the US, from Great Britain, from Scandinavia, that children and adolescents who are raised by lesbian and gay couples perform and function just as well as children and adolescents raised by heterosexual couples. So there really is no difference. So basically what I'm saying is that we have a goal. The goal is to inform public opinion and to someday achieve public policies that support gay and lesbian couples. And hopefully someday we will all become kinder human beings.